21 Bridges is directed by Brian Kirk and stars Chadwick Boseman, Taylor Kitsch, Stephen James, and Sienna Miller and J.K. Simmons. And this is directed by Brian Kirk, and it's about this cop played by Chadwick Boseman, who is basically having to do a manhunt search for these two criminals that are doing this heist that goes down.
And which end up killing cops, if you saw in the trailer.
Yeah. And it's up to Chadwick's character, and he ends up teaming up with Sienna Miller's character to pretty much look for these guys.
And they only got 3 hours to find these guys before they're gone for good, apparently. So
yeah, and and it's pretty much a search and pretty much becomes a nationwide manhunt to try to get these guys citywide.
Yeah.
And now here's a little backstory. Now this movie was actually produced by the Russo brothers, who gave us the Marvel films of the Avengers movies,
which explains Chadwick.
Yeah, especially since they casted him in Civil War Captain America Civil War back in 2016 for it. Yeah. And in this film, I actually kind of got some interest from it because from the trailers, it looked like it was going for that gritty type crime movie kind of feel that we get with like movies that once a year that come out. Like a few years ago, we had 999, and then last year we had that one with Gerard Butler that came out.
Den of Thieves. Yeah, we get these every year, and it's one of those genres that rinse it out every year. But for some reason, these are one of the few genres that can bring always something new or fun, depending on who the cast is and the story. So you can always give this kind of like rinse and repeat, unlike, paranormal films where you can't do that. This one you can. So, with the cast, with Chadwick being the head, the main guy, I was thinking it was going to go towards, for that like 999 kind of training,
or even Street Kings,
Street Kings, yeah, exactly, kind of like that grittiness,
that David Ayer type film.
Yeah, and that's why I thought it was going to go. And now this film has been having a lot of issues having a release date, which its original was supposed to be in August, then it went to September, then it changed its date again and somewhere in September, so that's 3. Then it was October, but it didn't want to go against it. Then here it is, it started going for early November, kind of end of October-ish, but then they didn't want to be in fight with Dr. Sleep. So this movie just came out of the blue.
Yeah.
And honestly, I gave up after a while of finding out, God damn, when's this movie going to be released? That's how many, 5, 6 fucking changes? And I don't know if it was reshoot problems or whatever the issue was, but they couldn't find a release date. I do think that they had a reshoot problem at first, but then the release dates, so many bigger budget films were coming out whenever they got finished, and they're like, oh fuck, we're gonna have a hard time picking a date.
Yeah.
So that kind of got me a little worried, but it's Russo brothers are involved, and there's some really good cast members in this, and seeing Taylor Kitsch is playing another villain again, I love him when he plays villains. I think he does really good.
He did. The last time he did that was when he was an American Assassin a few years ago, which actually showed he has a lot of potential.
And he was good in Waco.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was really looking forward to this, despite a lot of people probably gave up on even caring. I haven't even seen anybody watch this. And I will say, upon seeing this film, I am so surprised how fucking bad this movie was.
Yeah, this movie was appalling with how I was really just like disappointed.
I was very disappointed.
But at the same time, I was also just like looking at it as such a been there, done that type of movie that we see countless times using the same type of fucking films.
That's the issue, but like I said
earlier,
also
struggles with its writing too.
I praise that. I praise that. Like films can do that, rinse and repeat, and be something different. But unfortunately, this film just, I don't know what the fuck they did wrong in this, but I can tell you what I have my problems with here in a second, but it's like, it's almost like this film had so many fights behind set on whose story to go with. Like, I expected going to see this, worst comes to worst, I felt, okay, it'll be mediocre and standard.
Yeah, it had two writers, and it's like
I walked out, and this was worse than that. This was uncalled for to be this bad.
I know.
I didn't expect this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And that's just, and especially with the hype that they were kind of surrounding it with the Russo brothers behind it. But keep in mind, going into it, I could see why they were wanting to push it, because we got this trailer right when Endgame we watched in theaters.
I think the Russo brothers were set to direct it, but then they backed off because they're focusing on Marvel. So they handed it over to somebody else, and they took over executive producing. Yeah. Still, their hands are involved in this, and this is really uncalled for to be this bad with their names on it.
And the director of this, Brian Kirk, this is only his one of his first big movies in Hollywood, because he's known for directing episodes of television, especially on Game of Thrones.
And that comes into play in this fucking movie.
Yeah.
I did not see this being introduced in a fucking film, and it should have never been done. Yeah. But anyways, get into our pros first. I will say that I don't think there are some people's acting that are really bad in this film, but at the same time, as far as getting into the good, I would say that really, other than Taylor Kitsch playing the villain, which was wasted, by the way, everybody was just good. I mean,
they were just fine. They're
just fine. In fact, every one of them, I can actually nitpick, even Chadwick, on some of their lines that they deliver and the writing mixed made them look like they couldn't fucking act.
Yeah.
And I'll get that here in a little bit on the cons. But everybody was just there. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if that's a pro or anything.
It's just how I see it is the performances, they're fine. It's just that they're not given a whole lot of material to work with as far as the writing. That's really bad, and also the way that their characters are very paper thin too.
Yeah, so, everything is
performances themselves. They're just there.
Yeah.
You know, nothing really special. But I will say, as far as performances, the ones that I think stood out for me the best were Taylor Kitsch, and also the other guy. I will give credit to the guy that played the other main guy, Stephen James.
The guy with Taylor Kitsch?
Yeah, the guy with...
Basically, our villains are probably the only ones doable.
Well, and J.K. Simmons is good, but I mean, that's because his performance-wise is just,
His performance was hit and miss. Chadwick's was hit and miss. They introduced this one girl in here that's pretty much the narcotics. Yeah. And I'll get into my cons on this, but she was hit and miss. Everybody was hit and fucking miss. Yeah. And it has a lot to do with the delivery of the lines they have to use instead of becoming clever and doing their own lines. It feels like it's very scripted.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's scripted. So another thing I will say that only a pro I would probably have to say is the visual effects. I mean, it does give us that gritty New York vibe, which I expected and needed out of this film, and it did that. And there were some pretty brutal death shot scenes where people were bleeding, gargling on blood and shit like that.
The action scenes, they're nothing special, but they're just they're competently shot.
Yeah, they're competently shot. At least they could have been worse.
Yeah,
but they did all right on that. So that's pretty much our pros. Now we get in our cons, because this is a big load right here. My biggest fucking issue is the writing. Holy fucking shit. Who the fuck got credit for writing? Or did several people have an idea pitched on this? Because this movie is incredibly fucking messy. Mm-hmm. Let me go through the list. The characters are dry and they're blah. They're just
so generic.
They're just
cardboard cutouts.
Yeah, I mean, not just cardboard cutouts. The writing of their lines are fucking atrocious in this film. You get scenes where Chadwick and them are hear about a shooting. They come up to this one scene, him and this girl, his partner at the time, coming into this, and then they're kind of suspecting something's going on, and then they start talking about this girl's daughter's oh, my daughter's sick. Oh, how is your daughter? Shit like that just pops out throughout the movie throughout scenes. It's almost equivalent. Jason's about to kill you. Hey, your mom's birthday's next week, right? I mean, it just randomly comes out. It's are you kidding me? Who wrote this shit?
Yeah.
I didn't expect the writing to be this bad. At least generic it could have been. I would have gave it a pass. But come on now.
This was just so flustered. And plus also, another problem come back to writing.
Yeah.
The film sets up stuff involving where they're doing the stuff with the cop killers. Because mainly the whole plot deals with Taylor Kitsch and the other guy are robbing this guy, trying to get cocaine I think it was cocaine.
Yeah, it was cocaine.
And they're trying to do a heist that goes down. And basically, they end up getting into some shit where they kill some of the cops.
Like you've seen,
like you've seen the trailers.
And
but,
you've seen all
But
the
basically,
movies.
this whole plot that they do, that's it, the way that... There's two problems with this. One, after probably about like the first hour and a half or so, about the first hour, it's abandoned after that. It's completely it's completely resolved after an hour.
Yeah, it's resolved because they were trying to be smart and thinking maybe we could do a twist and try not to be, but that's the problem. The twist actually ruins the fucking movie.
Mm-hmm.
Worse than going the generic way of, they could have done so much with this film. They could have been this big obstacle course of like ups and downs and just getting close and failing. I mean, you could have made this so clever. Instead, we get our fucking villains who are just going from one building, and then you just get a lot of talking. Then you go to another building, and you're introducing new fucking people because they're trying. It builds up like you're trying to get the bigger characters like kingpins and stuff like that. But they're just in one scene.
And there's no resolution on that. They're completely abandoned.
Like they meet this one guy who he can make like advanced shit for them to get them out of the country. That's abandoned. That guy's abandoned. Then there's a kingpin who set it all up. You only get him for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
You get introduced with so much, but mainly the focus on is Chadwick and him talking to cops.
Yeah, and not just that.
And it's not really doing anything.
And that's the structure of the movie too. It literally is a lot of rinse and repeat from them going to places like you were said, and then them constantly finding them, which even falls another fucking issue because the cops find everyone so fucking easy. And might as well call the movie 21 Psychics.
Yeah, Psychics. I'll get to that in a second, but let me first get to the random lines that come out of some of these other actors' mouths, like the guy who sets them up with new IDs and stuff.
Yeah.
And there's a scene where these cops, like he says, in this movie we have a problem with people spawning like it's fucking GTA, like Jason Voorhees. They're spawning. The cops, this is Manhattan. They shut down Manhattan. If you ever been to fucking Manhattan, there's no way you're finding it. It's like finding a goddamn flea in a fucking cornfield.
Or a needle in a haystack.
Yeah. So it's like, how the fuck are they spawning of new and it's like one scene is cut out, they find these guys. Boom, 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 shoot out. And then the main people with them get fucking killed. They survive. They go to the next fucking building. And it could be miles. They don't tell you shit. They just randomly cut to another building. And then boom, 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 boom. These cops show up again. It's like, how the fuck they finding these guys?
No.
But my issue is that line I want to bring up is this fucking scene that sticks out. I'm talking about like Genesis and the Bad Boys shit on Terminator Genesis bad. This motherfucking scene, they meet the guy who gives them IDs and shit like that. Well, they want to get out of the country, and next thing you know, he hears his door being kicked or rammed in. He has a steel door. Looks like fucking something out of Texas Chainsaw with a sliding door. Well, anyways, he's got it barbed up, and he goes, "Thou shalt not at my door." Like, going Gandalf here. I'm like, what the fuck? Now we're mixing Lord of the Rings with this shit? You remember, what was it? Like, "Thou shalt not hit my door"?
I don't know. He said something about, that's a really expensive door or something like that.
Well, after he said that, he started going, "Thou shalt not hit my door," and profuse, like, he started really saying Gandalf shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my god, that sticks out. And they fucking shoot this fucking door, which, by the way, is like half-inch steel. People are using, you can buy bullet piercing going through steel, but, every gun that they have, even little itty-bitty water-looking guns, are shooting through these doors. And so your door was fucking useless from the get-go.
Yeah. If
it was that easy to take down. This guy gets shot in a fucking eye, has enough time to have a conversation about shit, and then dies. I'm sorry, if you took a piercing through a steel, hollow point bullet to the fucking eye, your brain is right back here, it's blowing half your fucking head off. Yeah. And this motherfucker's got a fucking indentation, and he's able to talk. I'm just like, and he's not even in pain.
Yeah.
And another issue I have, it goes with the cliche. I would say if there's a Prodigy, I'd make a fun of something like of this kind of genre. If it was going that direction, I could see it working, but it didn't. So I have to criticize this. Our hero can go through like him and the villain can go through shooting at each other. He gets not scrapped. Like, at the end of the movie, our villain has 0 scrapes or cuts.
Mm-hmm.
Our fucking guy that he's shooting on the other side, the same amount as he is, he shoots that motherfucker, he's riddled with bullets.
How does that make sense?
Classic case of our fucking hero walking away unscathed.
0 vulnerability.
Yeah. So we get this, and not only that, the whole plot itself, I predicted. In 5 minutes, I knew it was going to be a dirty cop fucking movie, and I pointed out the 2 people.
Yep.
And I was like, and then whenever the lines are delivered by our villain guys, our new cop, dirty cops, mind you, one of them is an amazing actor.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's him or the writing. His delivery is like shit, fucking straight to video level.
I know, it was cringy.
You took amazing actors and you made them fucking almost like
They never acted before.
like a Nicolas Cage starring in some fucking rent-a-video shit.
Yeah.
I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe what the fuck I saw. But again, going back to another thing, the editing. This movie just jumps all over
every place.
Yeah.
Like, because
I was lost.
the product, yeah, because
half in the movie.
And it shouldn't be that hard because they're basically on the run trying to get from places. But even that becomes like, where are we? You know, and plus, how did they find them so easy? Because okay, going back to the whole find them easy.
Yeah.
We get one scene where we find out from this girl that knew one of the main the villains.
Yeah.
Of who the names were and everything. After that, the cops just end up finding everyone like so fucking easily after that. Like they identify like, oh, we got those names put up.
Even they try to create tension between cop on cop. You get that in these movies, right? Where the tension's between you first meet the guy who's coming to your precinct and he's taking over, and the 2 other cops are pissed off. They do that in a lot of films, but in this one, it comes off as very cringy because you get those 2 cops all like sitting there, like, and you see them the crying so poor and just depressing. Then they get up and start talking shit to fucking Chadwick, and then Chadwick and J.K. Simmons is going at it, bitching at each other, and the line's just like it's almost like equivalent to say you're a butthole. No, you're a butthole.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But anyways, I want another thing I gotta bitch about is this is New York City. This took place in Manhattan. Why in the fuck do they not have nothing iconic from Manhattan? Where's Times Square? Where's everything that could have taken place in Times Square or some main attraction area we recognize from New York?
Yeah.
Instead, they take place in fucking alleyways. Jason Voorhees had more screen time in New York City in Manhattan, takes Manhattan, than every character in this whole fucking movie.
Hell, he also got to see the Statue of Liberty. He got to see Times Square and all that too.
At least he saw that. We didn't see any of that shit. All we see is like the beginning. As this thing, they're looking over the fucking city, and then in the end, where it shows they're showing the city again. When they cut scenes and have to show the city, they do that a lot in this movie. And you really still almost don't see any iconic parts of New York. Yeah, doing that, and that's pretty bad. Another thing, and I don't think I've seen this in any film ever. Oh my god, that score in this fucking movie not only stands out of place, but it is on rinse and repeat from beginning to fucking end. It is one score, and it plays, and even in places where it should be quiet, where they talk, you hear it playing. I thought they were going to use the restroom, and it was playing. I got out of the theater, it was fucking playing in my head.
Yeah. Pretty much. It was like the director of it, because he's known for television episodes, and it makes me think that, okay, so what you're telling me is he watched episodes of Law & Order SVU and heard their score and was like, yeah, I'm going to use that, but just put on a loop the whole fucking time. And I'm like...
No, it also had a mixture of Friday the 13th part 3.
Yeah.
Where it goes, that theme goes, do, do,
yeah.
And it does that. And you think the screen's going to go black like an episode of an animated show when they play that high pitch.
And
it goes black and it goes to the next scene. That's what they were doing in this. I'm like, you don't do that in a fucking movie. This has to be the most misused score film I've seen all year.
Yeah, it really stuck out pretty fucking badly, man. Like,
yeah, it was cringy. But other than that, I mean, I did not expect this to be.
We also got to talk about that other scene where where after they do the heist and stuff and they're leaving, they're in this car that apparently, well, because it's still a cop car, and they
continuity problem.
Continuity. Here. They have a car that has a bumper that's fucked up after they leave, and then the next scene it shows the bumper's fine.
He let me explain it better. They get into the car because they're trying to get away. They end up ramming this cop car that happened to pop out on them. Hadn't been 50, 60 miles an hour, and the cop car was fucking smashed to fucking shit. So there's a scene where they're able to, after they do what they gotta do, killing the cops and get in the car to get away.
Yeah.
They're fucking driving, and they do this like kind of like overhead shot of the camera to seeing them driving on the bridge, over a bridge,
yeah,
and into Manhattan, and you literally actually see the car and it's not even damaged. I was like, oh my god! I knew we were in trouble when I saw that.
You were like, did Tommy Wiseau direct this?
Yeah. I mean, he might have directed the writing because I could say that there was some of the Room type of level. I can't. People need to see how bad this movie is. It is truly that fucking bad.
Yeah. And not to mention off topic, but after he left, literally his sunglasses are on his hat, and it actually flew
My
off.
sunglasses trying to beat me to the door. I kid you not. I get up and this motherfucker goes, whoa. And I don't know how it did that, but it did that. It just flew that way. I'm like, oh shit, my glasses. It was trying to get away. I was making that joke, but yeah, I'm sitting there taking a piss, and that goddamn score's still playing in my fucking head. It's still playing in my head. But anyways, I will say that at least I was able to laugh how bad this was, and despite that, I've seen worse films this year. I'm gonna be nice here, and this is being fucking nice here. I'm going to give this a low disaster rating on the Film Freaks meter. This was bad. I do not recommend it. Save your money.
Yeah, I'm the same way, man. I'm giving this a low disaster grade on the Film Freaks meter as well. This had so much potential that it was so wasted, especially, give or take what it is. I know that a lot of, if it would have been completely made by someone like...
Can I mention the part where one of our killers is so fucking retarded that they actually had the evidence in their cell phone unlocked, and it says the name of the fucking dude? Hey, you could have, instead of having a secret name, it could have just said villain. Stupid writing.
God. But this movie was such a disappointment, man. I'm appalled by how bad this was.
Yeah.
So, for those of you who have also seen 21 Bridges, let us know in the comments, or 21 Psychics as we call, 21 Reasons Not to Do a Fucking Cop Thriller the Wrong Way.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments below what you thought about it, and if you like what you see here, you can feel free to like and subscribe to our channel, and check out some other reviews here, and our website at filmfreaks.com. We'll be seeing you in our next review.
Later.
We'll see you later.